the guy in the back. Is that okay? You want to ask a question?
No, we've got about 5 minutes for questions here.
So I actually have two questions. One, how do you feel about LinkedIn Premium versus the free one that I've been using? And two, you talked about company pages. Do you encourage us to send a friend request to clients to link to the company page?
Okay, so first question's a great question. Both questions are great questions. LinkedIn Premium. If you're not using the free version to its full extent, why pay for the premium? The premium does have some cool features. One of them is that you can send in, it's called an in-mail. So if you don't know the contact, or you can actually send kind of a cold call email. It can be effective. You know, people in that kind of cold calling world, if that's the way you're growing your business, it could be very powerful. One of the other real cool features is we talked about the advanced search. LinkedIn limits your search to 100 names. So you might find this whole massive list of 1,000 dentists or whatever, and you want to reach out to all of them. The paid versions allow you to see more people. There's more benefits than that, but the other thing is your company page. You'll promote it wherever you can. If you have a good company page that you want people to see, this is where social media, we'll talk about in the next presentation, is that you want to make this a whole integrated approach. So if you have some kind of social media sites, you want followers, you want people to like you want people to connect with you. So make sure you're always cross-promoting these things and drawing traffic to each other. So hopefully that answers both your questions. There's one over here.
Thanks, Mike.
Sure.
Question for you. You talked about managing connections appropriately, and over time, many of us in the room have had connections past the 500 mark now, of which a large handful of those you wouldn't go at lunch with. Okay. Is it your recommendation that you go on a culling spree and remove some of the names?
Yeah.
What's the ups and downs from doing
I
that?
laugh. Jimmy Kimmel sometimes has a unfriend somebody on Facebook night on a show. This does happen, and it takes a little time. You can go in. It's a little hard to find. If you can't find it, I'll show you the steps to do it. The good news about connecting with somebody on LinkedIn, they don't get a message like, oh, that Mike Byrnes just unconnected with you, so that's good. They might notice it over time. But if you don't have a strong network, if you kind of afraid of other people in your network, it probably makes sense to bounce them out if there's no value. And think about it this way. I reached out to a recruiter the other day. I wanted an introduction to this advisor, and the recruiter had no idea who the person was. So what's the whole value of that? So you want to really know your connections and be able to give a referral that you know them and like them, because it's really an extension of who you are in some ways. We had another question over here.
What do you see the relevance in the ultra high net worth space, especially given the uber importance of privacy?
Yeah, okay, great question. Uber high net worth. And this is where, as a LinkedIn guy, I'll be completely honest. If you are a family office and you have one client, that's a big risk for the world to know who that client is. That's a time where you might not want to have your client on LinkedIn. But that's the extreme. There's usually more benefits to having your clients there than not. If you're someone that has a client retention issue and you're very afraid of people stealing away your business away from you, it's probably not this conference. It's probably the one in the fall, not to name anybody. If that's the case, you might want to be secluded. You can block people from looking at your network, but that really defeats the whole purpose of LinkedIn, because you want to be able to help people network with your network and vice versa. Hopefully that answers your question. There's a risk out there, but there is one thing that's a benefit. If you connect with your clients and you have other people, there's no label that says that person is a client of yours. So people might make the assumption, but that's why you just want to be a little careful of who you let into your network. We got time for one more question.
Mike, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thanks, Mike. My question is, do you find that advisors in the community are using LinkedIn for recruiting and hiring as well? And if so, what tips would you have along those lines?
Yes. I got to give a quick answer because we're out of time, but the answer is yes. Do you use it to network? People find jobs all the time through LinkedIn. Just spoke with an advisor last week that put up a position, and he got 20 on LinkedIn, and he got 25 senior people that were above and beyond what he wanted. So it was an amazing tool that he just pushed this out there and got a lot of awareness. So job seekers use LinkedIn as much as hopefully you use LinkedIn. So the quick answer is yes. Hopefully that helps you. Okay, great. So I'll stick around. I'll answer questions, and then we got another presentation, so I'll try to answer more questions then too. Thank you.